In the recent update, we received Stat Creator device, which can be used to create random stats and levels. And luckily, it supports custom widget UI. So today I want to show you how to create ranking system by using it and save player progress with verse persistence. So let's begin. So in the level, I have already a Stat Creator device and then nothing else. And let's set up. So for the stat name, we actually won't use it because we will just use this device so we can display our stats, ranking stats for the custom widget. And then we don't need any hacks, like again, like a sequences to do this. But if you would have like a multiple of the stat devices, so let's just name it ranking system. So it's again, you will know then what's about. Then our stats. So maximum level, because there are 18 ranks and then one is unranked. So it means in total it's 19. So then it won't go beyond. For the maximum value, this is basically how many points you need. So in our case, it's elimination. So how many eliminations you need to go to another rank. And then for here, per level points multiplier. So it's basically, if it's set to 1, it means each rank will require same amount. So for example, if I will set just for our testing, maybe let's start with a really small number, but let's say like if I would start with a 20, it would be 20 to go from unranked to ranked, so basically to bronze 1. And then from bronze 1 to bronze 2, it would be 20 again, and 20 again, and 20 again. But if let's say I would put multiplier 1.5, it would start increasing, by 1.5. So then this 20 would increase for each rank. And of course, like it depends how much you want in there. And again, as I said, like for testing, just let's start with a small value, and then we can maybe test with bigger one. Okay, can lose level. Yes, we can lose level. Basically, what we will do, we will control setting and basically getting numbers from it through the verse. So we will add and subtract manually, but then when we will subtract, it automatically will level up or level down. Then scope, it's a player, because we're doing ranking system only for the player. Enable phase, yes, always. So here's everything by default. Then stat bar shown on the HUD. Yes, we want that. Then here we will input our custom widget. Then show as a list, no. Otherwise, it will be here somewhere on the list. So it basically won't work as in our widget UI. It won't look like a widget UI. So we don't want that. And then HUD priority, so it's 1, so it's highest priority. Lower the value, it's basically, if you will have, let's say, multiple HUD devices trying to show same time, so the highest will be showing first. So we're setting it so that it's always there. So we're not using this persistence, we're not using save device. We will do this through the verse persistence and nothing else. So we are good to go. So from my previous ranking system, I've got these icons. They look like that. And I have already a tutorial showing like how to create them in Photoshop. I will share links for the few videos from which I will use different stuff, so then we can speed up this tutorial instead of creating everything from scratch. So I have 2 atlases, because we have 18 icons in total, like that. So I have them, no mip maps, because they're always on the screen. We don't want any mip maps. And texture group, it's UI, because in the compression settings, it's default. So I'm not setting it to user interface because my texture will be like much larger in size then. And I'm not streaming as well, because it's always on the screen. So it means we can't reduce quality because it will never be far away from screen. So it's that, then sRGB, and in here, padding and resizing, like I put like stretch to power of 2. I'm just always putting this just as in case, while my texture is still 2048, so it's power of 2 anyways. So it's for 2 of this. And then I have, for the words, I have Atlas as well. And it's only with our channel. So that's why I set it to grayscale. So then again, like no meep maps, UI group, no streaming, and stretch power of 2, and no sRGB. Okay, because it's not. And again, I have tutorial how to create this kind of words with this kind of like gradient, so it's distant field. And so to make them, even with a lower resolution, to make them really sharp and nice. Okay, so we have this. Then I will use a glint. Again, I have tutorial about creating this and then another tutorial how to upgrade it. It will be super useful to add this glint to our icons and maybe text. And last thing what I want to grab is recently I have tutorial creating this, right? So I won't just grab this linear progress bar to use as well. But instead of just creating material instance from it, I want a little bit change it. So I will just Control C it and Control V in here. Let's maybe rename so we don't have same name in the project. While it allows in a different folders, I want still different name. Maybe something like this. Okay, let's open this because it's already done. I just want to do a few changes in here. Okay, so we were having this like division, and maximum value was for maximum value and same time how many steps we have in there. I don't want a different amount of steps per, let's say, level. I want it always consistent. So that's why I will just create, or actually I will use scalar parameter, let's say. I'll call it steps number and use maybe like 50. And I will delete this divide. Let's connect it here. So this will control our steps. But now maximum value will stay here because we're basically dividing our current value with maximum value and we're making between 0 and 1. So almost done in here. Just only one thing. And if you made it from last tutorial, I suggest you do it as well. So basically, I noticed that with a green color, it works fine. But then with different colors, like for example, orange, it wasn't so nice. Maybe I can even, well, not wasting time. Like, so basically, like, because this value, we're using this as a mask, but something going on in here, and it affects our color. So what we just need to do is add saturate in here. Nothing visually will change, but our color will work with all colors possible. Okay, so we can create material instance from that. Okay, now let's create for the ranking icons and text material. So it will be 2 materials. So this one will be, we will use flipbook. So it will be one for icons flipbook, another for the words. So flipbook, then let's crop our 2 textures in here. So this is our number 1, this is number 2. And I will convert them to texture object and this one too. So I'm not creating, because I'm not changing later them. So I'm not converting them now into parameter. If you want later to change, to be able to change these atlases, just convert them to parameter. And I will have 2 texture samples. So one it goes in here, another one it goes in here. Then from here, we connecting these 2 UVs and this one as well to UV. Then let's create switch. So then what we will do, we'll automatically will switch to another atlas when this one is run out of basically space. We know that there are like 9 icons. So it means when it goes to 10th icon, it will start repeating, but we want to then change to another atlas. We will do this automatically, but we will use the switch. Okay, so let's How many? Yeah, that's enough. So let me see. Yeah, to make it separate, because we want alpha and color as well. Then we would need for the color one switch, one for the alpha. We will use one, but we will use RGBA, and then we'll split after that. So this one first will be default and first, and this, not this one, RGBA will be in the second. Okay. You can name this inputs in here if you want. So we have this, and then we need control. So switch works with integer. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, and then it will change to this in another inputs. So now we need to control our flipbook. So let's start. How many rows we have and columns. So we know that it will be 3 by 3. So this is rows, this is columns. Then we want to multiply both of them, and we will divide 1 by this value. So then basically we're making that it always, input always will be between 0 and 1, because this is what it requires. Is that then multiplying with our value what we will input. And after multiplication, I want still fracture it. So it definitely will be between 0 and 1. Why I want that, while I'm saying like we still will be between 0 and 1, it's because of this automation. I want to change it a little bit. So let's have it like that. Move it this up a little bit. Okay. So now let's create variable which will control our rank. So just rank. And in here I want subtract. And I want subtract 2. Just in a second I will explain why I need this subtract. Then I want to add really tiny number. So I notice sometimes around value, maybe like around 10, rank 14, it doesn't jump to another icon. And I just need to force it, like just help it a little bit with a really tiny number. So let's try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe, and 1. No, it's too small. So okay, it's 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1. So 0.5 zeros and then 1. And then add it to multiplication like this. And here for the automation, now we will use this value. We will use F mode like that. And in here, we basically need to specify how many atlases we have. So it's just number 2. So if you would have 3, you're just putting here 3. Okay. And now this one into this switch. Okay, good. So now let's change our material to user interface, and let's see, I think would work with mask. Let's say like translucent. Oh yeah. Later when I will add text, which will specify that it's unranked, I will use smooth step. So it's better to use translucent. It looks better then. It's less sharp. Okay. So we need 2 masks. One is alpha only, and another one it's RGB. Okay. Then let's use lerp, and this will go into A, and move it up a little bit. And here will be our color. Let's convert to parameter. This will be color for our text, so not for the icons. You can specify your color. I will just put something like orange. So I will make like a whole UI orange. And we need mask for that. What this mask is about is basically it will tell when to use color and when to use icon just image, because we want color only for the text. And at the end, I will add our glint. And it's super simple to add. It basically looks like that. And that's it. And then this goes into color. So you can already see in there, that's working. So now we need our mask to filter all this background. So let's create again lerp. Then this goes into A, and yeah, because like we need again switch between alpha information of the text and our icons. So in here will be our text, and again same alpha as here, and then it will go into opacity. So let's create mask. So for this we will use if, and let's see, I will use from here, from subtraction, like this. And in here, I will have only two values, 0 and 1. So in here, I will specify -1, and then 0 will be when it's above b, and when it's equal or smaller, it will be 1. Create root node, opacity. Okay, so how it will work. Start creator device, it starts with a 1, so it will pass automatically number 1. But if you will have 1, and this value, it starts with a 0, between 0 and 1, right? But it starts with a 0. If I wouldn't subtract, it would just be 1. It's not good. So then if I would subtract 1, it would start with a 0. That's perfect. But then again, it would start with a bronze 1 icon. But we want to start with a word unranked. So that's why I'm subtracting 2. So when we're on level 1, we're subtracting 2, it means it's -1, right? So, and instead of looping to another icon, so basically it will loop if you're going in beyond that range of how many icons you have. But in here, we're then specifying if it's -1, which we want, then change to the text. So then it won't show icon, it will show text. Okay, so now in here, we can add that opacity, and in here as well. And what left is just our text. So for our text, we don't need extra texture. We can use our atlas, and we don't need flipbook for that. So let's first do smooth step. As I always mentioning, with a smooth step, you're basically making, because of that distant field, you're making it sharper with a lower resolution textures. And just create scalar parameters like that, connect them into minimum, maximum, and play with your values based on your texture. I already know my values, so I will just input them as is, because I don't want to change them later. So it will be 0.35 and 0.4. And let's create just text mask. Okay. So we have this. Let's add it in here. And we can see our text, but of course, we see all of that. And we want just specific word, and actually this word in a corner, unranked. So we need so we need texture coordinates, then multiply and add. So with multiplication, we will tile it, control tiling, and with addition, we will control offset. Let's create two append vectors. So because I know of this texture and I'm not changing it later, so I have 4 columns and 5 rows. So it's basically our UV space is between 0 and 1. So divide 1 by 4, it means it will be 0.25 in X. And then divide 1 by 5, it will be 0.2, just like that. And now we need to move it. So for example, if I'm not moving it, you see it's empty because it's basically our texture. In our texture, you see like first this box, it's empty. Now we need to move it. So 0.75, you see it's a bronze, and bronze, it's in this corner. Now we need to go down. So in here, we need 0.8, and we have unranked. And let's test it. So we have 1, and we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19 our Unreal rank. Works perfectly. So we've done here. Let's create material instance. And final one, we need to create our flip book for the words as well. So I will just duplicate the same material. And in here, I actually don't need a lot of this stuff. So don't need this. Then subtraction, it will be 1. I will explain just in a second. Then we don't need second atlas. Actually, let's grab now our text and input it in here. Then we don't need text. We don't need automatic switching. We don't need this, masks. So we still want color, but we don't use lerp anymore. We will just multiply because this is a black and white. And actually, yeah, I deleted that smooth step. Let's grab it from here. We still need this smooth step. It's the same value because it's the same texture. Okay, so from here goes multiply and color. And then it goes into glint and in there. So we don't need this stuff. And yeah, we don't need this. And we go just directly into opacity. Like that. And now in here, we have 5 rows and 4 columns. And we've done. So for example, if it's 1, then it's 2, it's bronze 1, and again, bronze 2, and 5, 6, 7, no, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19 Unreal. Perfectly. So it's already working. So we've done really quickly in here. So which one is what? Yeah, words. Let's create material instance. Okay, now user interface, widget blueprint, user widget. Okay, let's add canvas, then overlay. So for overlay, I want size 255 and 130. And now we'll move it just slightly down, or actually move it somewhere here, because it's again in session, we have text in here, like with some UI elements. So avoid its overlapping. So I will move it a little bit down. Okay. And yeah, let's create. We have, let's see, do we have? Yeah, we have already progress bar material instance. So we can add that in here. Okay. Now for this one, I want it to be aligned on the right side and on the bottom. And for the size, let's say this, and okay. And I want to angle it a little bit like that. And I want to change color as well to orange. Okay. Now I want to add 2 more images. So let's start with the first one as just for decoration lines. So this one will be as well on the right side and on the bottom. I want on the right side to be -2 and on the bottom 10. And then for the size, I want 2, 3, 1.5 and then 2. Okay. So I did it -2 because you see angle, so I want to follow same angle, so it goes a little bit further to the right. And then the shear I want as well -15. And let's change it to round box. Probably it won't be visible much. Yeah, not worth it. Okay, so we will leave as is. Okay, and just only let's grab color information. So this sRGB, just Control C it, and in here Control V. So there will be same color. Okay, I will duplicate now this line. Let's call it line 2. And now I want from the bottom, so here is 0, and from the bottom I want 27.7. Then aligned on the left side, but still on the bottom in here. Then for the size, I want 25 and still 2. Same color, everything same. In here, -15, but then in that direction, I want 55. It's pretty much like that. So now let's a little bit move it, just connect. Instead of moving this line, what I will do, I will just shrink a little bit size of the overlay. And because it's aligned to the right side, it will move together. So everything will move together. So for this X, let's try 4.5. Yeah, looks good. Okay, now let's add icon and words. And because we want them proportionally on the left side and right side, we can use stack box. It will automatically do it for us. So I will leave everything on default and just only orientation horizontal. So it's still on default. Now for this, we will add 2 images. So this is one image. And then, yeah, is that. And yeah, let's see. Okay, so we have one image. Let's duplicate another image. Okay, so probably we need, okay, we have this. Yes, we need fill it because I want fill whole overlay. It should do it by default, but for some reason it's not doing that. So let's see. Okay, let's then do it manually. Not that. Let's set it 128 by 128. And this one as well, 128 by 128. This looks good. And now let's add, where is our MI ranking icons on the left. And for this one, MI words. Okay, we have that. Now, last thing, we need value. Yeah, so basically current value and maximum. So basically what we need for the level. For this, I will add another stack box. And then we want free text. We'll organize just in a second. Let's just name them. So one is text value, then text, just separator, and then text max value. Okay. Let's add here 999. Here just slash, and here 999 over 9. Okay. So now with this stack box, so we want on the left, we want 70. Okay. Then we want aligned here and on the bottom. And then for the values, let's set their size to 20. And color, I did copy it. I don't know if I still have. Yeah, still have it. So just add orange. And Let's see, letter spacing. Just in a second, I will add, because what I want as well is to add shadow. So let's create this opacity. So like that, and outline as well. So for the outline, I will set, yeah, let's set to 1, but then shadow 0.5. So it's make it smaller. But you can see already that it goes on each other, so overlaps. So then for the letter spacing, let's test, yeah, like 50 looks better. And yeah, let's see. Okay, so now individually for this text, I want it to be on the right side and still like that on the bottom. Then for this one, or actually no, let's keep it as is. So let's fill it fully. And let's see. So this one is as well totally fine. And for the maximum value, let's see. Yeah, it should be fine. So basically, we will do like 1, 12. Yep. So it goes into that direction, and this stays because it's based on this value. And then even here, so see if we adding more, it goes in that direction. So it's totally fine. Okay, we just need to move it a bit up, maybe 10. Yep. Okay. So we've done here. Now let's create our bindings and animation. So for the binding, we need start a view model. And then I want create animation for the icon change. Let's select this. And now in here, add image rank icons, then plus and transform. And we have our scale. So I want to start with 1. So I will key these keyframes for the 1. Then this is frames per second. If you don't know, you can go into showtime as, and you can switch, for example, seconds as well. So this is the frames. And in here, we see that it's 20 frames per second. So it means on the 20, it will be 1 second. So what I want, it's in a half of the second. I want it to scale to 2, like this. And then when 1 second, I want it back to 1. And that's it. It will be like this. Pretty cool. And another thing what I want is starting from the 0, I want to key this angle. And on the maximum, I want to set it to 49.99. So usually we're not putting, for example, 360 degrees because 0 and 360 is the same thing. So sometimes it may not spin. So different applications work differently. But 359 0.99 works always. So that's it with this animation. Now let's do bindings. So let's start with our icons. So brush, then scalar parameter. This will be rank. And for the value, we need level. Okay. Now another one. And we actually don't need in here. Then we need for the text, same thing. Yep. So we need brush. We need scalar parameter, same rank. So make sure in material you have same name, exactly same level. Okay. We can collapse this too. Then we can do for the progress bar. Yeah, for the progress bar, we'll have 2. So it both goes into brush and this into brush and scalar, both. So this one, it will be our, no, it's called progress in my case. And this will be max value. So in here, it's value. And in here, it's max value. Okay. So this is working. And finally, for the text. So this one will be text. We need conversion, integer. And for the value, we need, again, our value. And then for this one, again, text, conversion, integer, and we need maximum value. Done in here. Final binding, it's to activate our animation. So for this, we need add action, and then level, and then more than 1. Then in here, we will, let's see, okay, play animation. And for the animation, oh, here, should be somewhere here. Okay, I can change. And should work. So basically, for the level, as I said, we're starting with a level 1. Yeah. So then when we're changing from unranked to ranked, we want to play this animation because it changes icon. And then we want to play it for another icon, for the icon, another icon, and when it's even dropping down. So every time when the level will change, it will check this if it's bigger than 1, and it will trigger, and it will trigger, so basically infinitely until it will go into unranked again. So then it won't work. Okay, so this works pretty much like that. Yeah, we can close all this, and we can start coding. So if you don't have as me Verse Explorer, so it's here. Okay, now where we want this system, let's just create in a content here. Then I can move it into this folder. So first of all, we want Game Manager. Then we want Player Stats Manager. So Player Stats Manager will save our progress in verse persistence. So we have it there. Let's build verse code and let's open it. So where are you? So we have now 2 of these here. You maybe have your special folder for verse code. I don't in this project, but I will just put it into ranking system like this. There is no issues because I don't have these devices now. It's still in the level, but just in case, let's, oops, wrong this one. Let's verse, build verse code. No error still. And now I can, like you see my 2 devices in here. So I will drop them here in the level. Okay. So we have this one and we have this one. Let's clean it a little bit. Okay. I think let's start with persistence. So we need outside of this, we need to create our weak map. So it will be var player stats map weak map player, and then player stats map. Okay. Then in here, let's initialize our this stats. So it will be init player stats player void, and then if player stats map, need to pass our player, and we can, for now, we can print so we can see if it's working. Then else, if set player stats map player. So if player doesn't have yet still initialized this, so we will add player there. Stats like this, and print. Okay. To remove this error, let's actually create what we're saving. So our player stats. So it will be player stats, then class persistable, and final. So it should be like this, final. So it will be version int 1, not 1, 0. So next time when you will update your map, you can put higher basically number. So we want save level, of course, or you can call it rank. Yeah, we can call it rank. And we will start with a 1. And it looks like it's enough, but then we want another parameter because I had trouble to saving and setting values for this stat creator, because how it works and calculates stuff. So what I end up with, I created another extra parameter to save. This is highest score. When I will implement that, I will explain. Basically, this will help us. So we don't have this error, that's fine. And we can continue in here. So later we will want to get information about player stats. So let's implement that. So player get player stats player, and we return player stats. So in here it's just player stats map for this player. And if player maybe doesn't have this for some reason map, so we will just return empty one. And we want update our score. So will be player. It's basically what we will pass through this function. Not level again, it's rank. And this will be integer. Then new current score and new highest score. Then if stats, okay, then we'll do set stats map player stats, and we need now a constructor to create our the save. So it will be update player stats. Yeah, just in a second we'll create this function. So basically we need this function. So what it will be, so it will be our rank, new rank, score will be new current score, and highest score will be new highest score. We've done here. So now let's create this update player stats. And in here we need say that is constructor. Then it will be source stats. And here will be version. So we're now saving this overwriting that player stats with this. So it will be source version rank source rank. Okay, like that. Let's see where I did mistake. So update. Oh yeah, this one, it's not function in this one. It's a separate like class. Yeah, like that. And we've done here. So basically, we will initialize our save. Then we can get this stats if we need. And then through this one, we can always, so for example, with this function, so like we're not sending it directly into here, like with everything, maybe if we will have like many things to save. So we can always have like a smaller, these functions, which just saves part of that. So instead of like everything. Okay, so we've done here. Now let's start with our game manager. So it will be like bigger one. So I will create custom players map. Why I want that? It's basically when new player will arrive, we will subscribe to elimination of that player and maybe like do something else. But if player responds after elimination, we don't want to do this again. So we want to know that this is already existing player instead of new player. We could as well add them to array and remove from array. That's maybe more efficient, but at the same time, this custom player, it's a separate class where we can then do a lot more. So do maybe like calculations for the kill strikes and other stuff. So for now, I will create it as a blank one, just for the checking if player was already in a game. But then in the future, maybe we will add more functionality to that. Okay, so we have this. So let's create this custom player. So it's in ranking system. Let's do new one. Then it will be custom player. When you're creating it in here and instead of a game, then you need to specify that dot verse, that this is a verse file like that. And in here, let's just do for now custom player class. It should be unique because we can compare them like that. And what I only want here is just player data, maybe like that. And you see error because we need to use something. Okay, so this one using simulation. Cool. And in here error disappeared. And final thing, not final, but two more things. I want editables for Start Creator and Player Stats Manager. Okay. And this is for Player Stats Manager. Okay. Let's save it. Actually, while we're here, I want to check with a print string logs. Maybe, and plus maybe you don't know how to do it, like how to display in the logs player name. So this is how you do it. So let's do get agent score. Later I want to update maybe this, but for now it will be fine. So localize this. agent, agent, or int message, and message will be our, okay. Now in here, agent, like that. Let's build the code. So in a playstart manager, we shouldn't have anything in here, but in our game manager, here we go. So we can add start creator and then our player start manager. That's it. While we're coding, we can already, actually, we need, for eliminations, we need weapon. Let's see where that is. Okay. Let's do item spawner. Don't remember if I have unlimited ammo or not. So just in case, I will just add more of them. Okay. And for the spawn, 1 second. So we can push this to the game while we're still coding, because it will take longer, and code we can later push faster. Okay, so in here, let's first, let's create, I shouldn't push it, I forgot. Let's add tag. So instead of like, if you have 2 spawners, maybe it's fine, but what if you have 10 or something, right? So adding them into an array, it's like painful. So let's create just tag, spawner, this, and we need to add using tags. Now let's again build code. Now let's select this one, add verse tag, and then here we have spawner, and same for another one. Okay. Now let's do init spawners, and this will be void. And so by finding these tags, like by tags, spawners, we will then subscribe to spawn of the player. So let's do for, then tagged, and find creative objects with tag. So objects, it's not one, it could be multiple. And then we need to specify our tag name. So it's spawner. And then if we found, right, we need check if it's really spawner. So let's be object tagged. Then if spawner, and it will be what class it is. So player, owner, device, and we're checking our object, with this object. And if it's yes, so then we're doing like spawner, spawned event, subscribe, and when it spawns, we're calling another function. So on player spawned. So when player spawned, we will receive agent, and we need get player. So if player agent, okay, and we can init our players and pass player. So in here, we will check if player is in the map, and if it's not, then we will grab a fourth character from that player. So we not custom players put player. Yeah, so basically we're taking this player and we're checking, because it's a key, and we're checking if it's in a custom player, right, map. And if it's not, because you see not, then in here we can grab our fourth character. inside. So we need using characters. And in here, I need S at the end, custom players. Okay. Now we've got that, and we can subscribe for elimination of this fourth character. In here will be our function, update eliminations. The result and elimination result. Yeah. So for now, I will just set block. And we need this using a game. Yeah, and the error gone. So we subscribe for this one. Then let's initialize our save for this player. So player stats manager, init player stats and player. So basically calling this function with this player. And if it's already there, it will not do anything. But if it isn't, so it will create a save for the player. And because player wasn't there, so it should create. Okay. So now we need init player stats. Yeah. So this is for us inside of the game, not in a player stat manager, but like in here in game manager. This is to read what rank and score player already had, and then pass it to a stat creator. Okay, so player. Okay, let's go back here. And then we need if player, because we know that everything in here, it means player not in the map. So we need to add them. So custom player and capital like that. So we're creating empty, basically new custom player. It's not empty like because we then passing this player inside because you see like I having this. So it's only data which we're storing. So like exactly who is inside of this custom player. It could be totally empty, but yeah, creating that. And then if set custom players player like that. So basically we created this, but it's not in the map yet, but we just created custom player for just particular player. And then we need to use if, and then setting inside of now this, because this is now a key, we're setting this parameter in there. And that's it. So we're storing now in the map. So next time when player will respawn, it will check, yeah, player is already in the map and not doing anything of this. Okay, so we've done that. Now let's do player stats initialization. So we need to grab our player stats from verse persistence. And will be player stats manager, player stats, and we need pass our player. Now we've got saved stats, and working with stat creator, it needs to be an if because it uses curly brackets. So it will be stat creator set level. Yeah, in here I put like stats creator, but it's only one stat. So let's call it stat creator. So in here we setting level. And in my experience, first we need to set level, then value, not value and level. So in this particular order. So we're setting for the player, and then we need value. And we will get like a player stats. So it's in here. And then level. Why I don't like it? Oh, not level. Jesus. Always forgetting. Rank. We used rank. Now again, start creator, set value. Pretty much same player. Player stats, current score. Okay, we've done here. So now we can check on our eliminations. So what we want to check first, we want to get who is eliminating player and who is eliminated, and then we need to compare if they're the same person, because maybe like someone just died by jumping from somewhere. So then we're not doing if it's the same player. If it's different players, then we're doing stuff. So in here, like if eliminating character, result, and then eliminated character will be result character, and then we will compare them. So it could be like in a different ifs, but we can put that everything in the one. Eliminating character not equal nated character. Okay, so this sign is basically for not. So if there are different people, different players, we want update player stats. And just in case, I will do this like in separate basically threads. So I will use spawn and update player stats, and we will pass eliminating character and what else? And value. So basically, if it's eliminating player, we want to go one up. And then let's copy this. And this will be our eliminated character. And because it's eliminated, so we're going -1. And that's it. But it's the same function. That's why I want to go it through the spawn. Update player stats. So we want our player character, port character, and we want value, which will be integer. But then we want suspense and void like that. Okay, so we need to get our player from this character. So it will be not eliminated, let's say agent, and player character get agent. Okay, and then player square brackets agent. So I need here capital G, like that. So now when we've got the player, we can get our save. So player stats, manager, player stats, there. Okay, now again, because now we're working with stat creator, we need to go it through the if. Player score stat creator get value score and it will be player current score plus value. And it's basically, it's a plus, but if we will send minus, then it will overwrite like that plus. So basically, if you have plus 10 and then you're adding -1, it will end up with a 9, right? Because you adding negative, so it will subtract actually. But if you will add plus, then it will add. So this means it will work and for the eliminator and for eliminated player. And I just realized that we actually don't need that highest score, so we will delete that in the player stat manager. So why I wanted that is basically because when we're getting this score, we combining this together or subtracting, we're getting new value and we're storing that in our verse persistence. So let's say for the next rank, player needed 4 points. So we've got these 4 points and we're storing this value as a 4 in our verse persistence. But actually, if you're passing this 4 to start create a device, it sees that, oh, it's maximum now. It changes your level, but then it resets your value to 0. So actually, new value will be 0, but we stored 4. Next time when you will load, that's basically will be problem. Same with subtraction. If you had 0 and you subtract it down, it will become like -1, but it's actually in the device, it will calculate properly and we have new value. So instead of hikey way, what I trying to do like with a highest score, I actually just realized I can just fetch new value. So same as we fetching it here, like we're getting this value. So first we can set it and then we can get again, and that will be what we want to save. Super easy. So let's do this. So let's maybe first call this one as a score, because final one, when we'll get new one, I want it to be called player score. So now we need first set it. So let's do like, yeah, stat creator, then set value. So we need to pass our player and then value. So player new score. So we set that. Let's grab first level as well. So we want save level. So player new level like this. Then stat creator get level. Again, our player. And now let's get new value. So player score will be stat creator get value, whoop, capital G, and it will be player. So we're getting new score. And that's it here. So let's do then, and we can save the data. So player stats manager update score. So basically we're calling for this. And as we hear, let's delete this highest score. So we only will saving rank and current score. Okay. So now we need to send player, then player new level, and player score. So make sure you're not sending this new score, but you're sending this final one, player score. And we've done here. So just to demonstrate like how you can use this, yeah, to display player name and then score. So let's create for the print string. So we need message, whoops, capital message, come on, capital M message of type message equal. So we need to call this get agent score and then send what it requires. So agent and score integer. So it will be player and player score. And now just print and double S like that. And that's it. It will print for us this message. So agent, then score, and score value. Then if you don't need any more of this, you can actually select like that and then press Ctrl/ and just to comment. If you don't know, you can easily comment like that. So like you can select stuff like this and then Ctrl/, Ctrl/. Okay, now final thing. When player left, we want to remove that player from our custom players, custom players map. So let's do this on player left. So it will be leaving player of type player void. So we need first get custom player so we can then compare. So our custom player from custom players map, and we're passing this living player. Now we need to create new map, new custom players of type player custom player map. Cool. Now for key value in custom players. So key, it's our player, and value, it's custom player. Okay, then key not equal to living player, capital L. So this sign, it means not equal. Yeah. So basically we created new custom players and we're going through this existing custom players map and we're checking when this player has a key not equal to this one. So basically we want assign now all the players to new custom player map, but except this guy who left. Okay. So we have that, and then set new custom players and equal concatenate maps, capital M, and in here new custom players map curly brackets key value, like that. And now we need to set back our custom player map, and we need to go back in one indent, so make sure indents is correct. Super important. So set custom players equal new custom players. So basically we getting our again original custom players and we overwriting it with a new custom players. And we've done here is just only we need to call now this function, otherwise it will never execute. So on the begin play, we need get play space and then player removed event, and then subscribe and call our event, and that's it. So we've done. So basically when this event will shoot, so like when player left the game, this event shoots and we're calling our function to remove it from our map. And we've done here. So let's build VS Code and push. Okay, so let's test it. So everything working. And you see in the left top corner, it says basically my name and score. So now you see a new score, it's a 0 out of 3 because we now ranked up. And in our log, it was saying as well. So you see like first it was 1 and then it becomes 0. So it's properly saved that. And ignore that here in the logs it says anonymous. It always says, because you see now on the screen, it will say my name. Okay. So we have this. Let's exit. and launch again. And we see it's saved correctly. Let's do a few more eliminations and save another rung. So I want to rank up to basically bronze 2 and then lose that rank. So then we can save it again. Not save, yeah, to save and load. Okay. Okay, so I lost rank, so now 2 out of 3. And now 2 out of 3. So it's perfectly working. And yeah, everything works. So it's really much easier now. And especially we don't need to use any sequence like level sequences, any cinematic devices to control this. Keep in mind, some people just reported that if player joins your game later, it may not see this UI. I still not confirmed that. Needs to do more investigations around that. But yeah, hopefully this will work for you, and test it, especially with joining players later. But I think it's a big step forward. So it's really awesome that we can now create more and more stuff with custom widget UI instead of verse UI. It's much more powerful, and we can create animations. And yeah, so hopefully you will enjoy creating this ranking system. Please share, tag me if you will share your game with this. So I definitely want to look at how you're implementing this. I'm enjoying looking when when creators using my stuff and like they're implementing something cool in their games. So thank you for watching and have fun. I would like to say thank you to my all supporters. I appreciate your support. Thank you for your generosity. You can join our growing Discord community where we like to discuss UEFN tips and tricks, showcase our work and help each other. You can find link in the description or in the channel header. You can get project files on my Patreon or just buy me a coffee to support me. If you're interested in learning more about UEFN materials, coding, widget UI and more, feel free to subscribe and click that bell icon to get notifications when new videos will be released. See you soon.